What's the biggest mistake Etsy sellers are making and why a majority fail?
The biggest mistake is not understanding your niche, that you should have a niche, and trying to be everything to everyone. And when we do that, not only does that lead to fewer sales and fewer long-term customers, because we can't ever really own the customer if we're just selling water bottles with funny designs on them, right? If somebody else makes a funnier designed water bottle, then people are going to go there to buy it. However, if we are serving a niche, it allows us to insulate ourselves a little bit from competition. It allows us to really maximize what we're doing in terms of repeat customers, multi-purchase sales, because we're selling other products that they might also be interested in buying, rather than hoping that they buy 4 different water bottles with 4 different funny sayings. There's a chance they're going to buy a fishing pillow, a fishing hat, a fishing shirt, and fishing bed sheets, or a shower curtain or something, right, all at once. So we're able, if we go that route, the niche route rather than the product focused route, we're able to sell more consistently, and quite honestly, rank better within the Etsy ecosystem. The second mistake, and Scott, I think this follows from the first mistake, is burnout. And if you're not passionate about the thing that you're doing, it means you're going to lose the interest in what you are doing. And that's much, much easier and much more likely to happen in a product focused store, where you're in the I have to list 400 products a day game to try to compete against all the other people who are making funny water bottles. That leads to burnout a lot faster. And I think that happens, the losing interest and burnout thing happens because people aren't interested in the thing that they are selling. That's very, very avoidable if you come at this from the niche focused approach. So to me, the number one mistake people are making is not having that niche focused approach, really doubling down on the product focused approach. And that not only leads to fewer sales, but it also leads to that burnout and loss of interest.
With the burnout thing, I think that's something really that a lot of people aren't talking about, because here's the way I see it is it's the entrepreneurial shiny object syndrome. We all have experienced this. It's not staying focused on that one thing. So if you are trying to get the Etsy thing going and you're dabbling with it, but you're expecting, that shirt or that sweatshirt or that item to just take off and have sales that you saw someone else have, well, you're probably going to be disappointed. And then what's going to happen is you're going to start looking around going like, what else can I do to make some extra money? Right. But if you just focused on one niche, like Chris just said, if you just focused on that one niche and really, really try to even grow that a little bit out. And what I mean by that is like doing some sub niches or some niche stacking, as we call it. And we've done videos here on the channel about it. But basically, you're now focusing on that one customer, and that customer that is buying things, but also they're buying other things. And how can we now create more products for that customer? And when you shift your mindset that you're not just an Etsy seller on Etsy, and you're a brand that is selling products for someone to buy, right? And more products than just that one product. Now, all of a sudden, it gets exciting, but it also turns into a real business, all right? And a real brand, because now there's a clear focus of what you're trying to do. And every time that you sit down to do work, you're thinking about your customer and what you're going to be creating for that customer. So that's a big one, that just people are not staying focused long enough, and they're scattered to begin with, and they're trying to just chase a whole bunch of different niches because that's what they heard they're supposed to do. And really, that just leads to confusion, and your customers are confused. And that's why your sales are probably not happening, and you get frustrated. And then you go, this thing doesn't work. And then you stop. I'm here to tell you that if you focus on the niche, you have a much greater chance of succeeding.
I love that. And I think the entrepreneurial ADD side of that really does play into this, because when you are niche focused, your ADD can be focused around that niche. And you can say, hey, I really like this idea. Let me try this idea with the audience that I own. And when you're able to do that, it gives you the outlet for your entrepreneurial ADD, at least speaking for myself. That's something I struggle with. I know you struggle with that, Scott, but really having the niche focused approach allows us to say, well, what if we try this, but in our niche? And that gives you that creative outlet to avoid the burnout that you would otherwise have when you're just trying to launch 100 new funny water bottle sayings a day.